Man, you got a little TV time last night. There's a night.
Dude, all my friends from Syracuse were all sending me videos. I was like, oh my
I said,
God,
I said, well, I guess he's not working tonight. Oh man, I tell you what. I got a text from my radio guy at JMU, who's a dear friend of mine, David Taylor, and he used to always keep this stat. He used to always say, I think my record on Super Bowl Sunday is like something like 14-1 or something like that. So he texted me and he said, you got this one in the bag because it's Super Bowl Sunday. And I'm like, oh man. And he texts, well, and the reason that you're so good of a coach on Super Bowl Sunday is because the Cowboys are never playing. And so it went from a really nice gesture to a, he's no longer my friend. No, kidding. But no, really good win for our kids, or for our program. The crowd was unbelievable. It gives us that extra push. You know, they're loud, and it's an advantage for us. But I can't be more proud of the week that we had, not only because of the results that we got, but because of the way that they handled their business. They conducted themselves very professional. Coming off a disappointing loss to Notre Dame, we knew we had through a difficult stretch. We had lots of opportunities, and we weren't able to practice because it was like game, next day prep, game, next day prep, and finally we had 2 days prep here, but we were actually going on fumes because 4 games in 8 days, 5 and 11. It's tough. It's very tough, and I could tell, certain stretches during the game they were just fatigued, but they willed themselves. North Carolina, Courtney is she's one of my good friends in this business. I think we do things very much alike. The way they play, the way we play, the kids that we recruit, the kids that they recruit, and they knew our stuff, we knew their stuff. So at key points in the game, it was just like scrap everything. It's just going to be who's going to will themselves to win. And our kids, they really did a really good job of finding that, just digging deep and finding it and coming away with a very good win for our program. Congratulations to Asia Shepherd. When you let it sink in, it's impressive enough to be the all-time leader in three-point shots for your school, but when you can do it for the whole conference, that shows you what type of player she is. And she got to go on little stretches tonight, and she was first to tell you that her legs were rubber. She just felt like that. But probably the best play of the day, I don't know if you guys saw on our social media after the Georgia Tech game, they doused me with water. They got me really good. I wasn't expecting it. They got me. We got them back today, so we snuck in through the back and bombarded them and sprayed them. So the coaches were on point all day from the report, scouting report to the execution of the dousing of water. But really good win, great performances. I'll say it, I'll scream it from the mountaintops, and I know I'm biased, and I know people have their own opinion, but I think Liz Kitley is the best player in the league, and I think Georgia Amore is the best point guard in the league. And through this stretch, she's shown it, and when she plays like that, we're really hard to beat.
In 9 of your 14 ACC games this year, you guys have held your opponent under 40% shooting. And I know you've said, a lot of teams don't, nobody talks about our defense.
No one.
But it's been a staple for you guys
Yeah.
this year. How proud are you of your defense all season, but also tonight, you held 13%?
Yeah, I mean, our kids, when I recruited, those kids, Kayla King, shooter. Liz Kitley gave us size inside. Asia Shepherd, shooter. Georgia Amore, she's coming from a different country. Didn't know, but we knew they were smart basketball players. And the way we play defense, we're not going to be, flying all over the place, trapping and, doing things of that nature. We guard the paint. We guard the paint, and we funnel you to a certain area, and we make you take a difficult shot. And that's the way we survive. And it took a while. It took a while for them because Kayla King, when she first got here, she was awful defensively. She couldn't keep any. If there was a one-on-one contest, none of our kids are winning. Okay, they're not. They can't stop anybody one-on-one. But collectively as a group, we're really good. We funnel you to areas. We play you certain ways. We make you take a tough shot, an unrewarding shot. If you're going to take a 17-foot contested 2-point shot, we'll live with that. You know, we're going to contest your threes and, you know, try to take away layups when we can. And but you know, Kayla King individually, I think, is underrated because she chased. I think she held Washington, and it wasn't all by herself, but you know, to 7. I think it was 7 points the other night, and Washington has 42 tonight against Georgia Tech. You know, Deja Kelly. You know, she got 17 points, but it took 18 shots to get to that point. And you know, Kayla's chasing her around the whole game. We played Boston College on Sunday. Cameron Schwartz, yeah, she got her points, you know, maybe at the end, but she had to take a lot of shots to get them. And Kayla was doing a tremendous job in that aspect. Between Kayla and Liz, the way that they funnel, like Kayla will funnel them to a certain area, and Liz is back there deterring some stuff. We're really good, but we've done a really good job manning the defense, and our defense is as good as anybody in the league, in my opinion.
Ryan in the back.
Coach Brooks, I asked Asia and Georgia this week. We talked about this a couple of days ago. Your team's aggressiveness. I mean, it seemed like they were just punching them in the face, and they had no answer.
You know what? I think we got punched in the face in the first quarter. You know, we were down 21-9, I think it was, and they admittedly so. You know, we told them that they were playing individually. We weren't on the same page, and they got loose. By the time the first quarter ended, we were down 17-5 in rebounds. I think they had 7 offensive rebounds in the first 5 minutes of the game, and it's because we weren't on the same page. And we regrouped in the second quarter, and I told them, I said, hey, look, let's cut it in half by the time we come back from the media, and they did that, and then we were able to take the lead going into halftime. And I thought they held on, but they played so well together. We are an aggressive team. We know teams view us as finesse, and they want to try to out-rebound us. But we've got some kids who can battle too, and they get in there, and they're tired right now, but they really willed themselves to this win.
Georgia also talked about the defensive end. How does that dictate the pace that you guys really want to play at both ends of the court?
I've said this before. We can play a lot of different ways, and we can even switch it up during the game. We're very opportunistic, fast breaking team. All right, so if we don't have it, why run when you have a 6'6" All-American that's coming up, bringing up the rears, and so we'll get the ball inside to her. Even if we can't get it to her, it opens up so many avenues for other people. They had one in front, one behind, and I think one was to the side. And we did a good job of trying to find her when we could, but other people stepped up. Deja Gregg hit a shot or two. Zana Baines hit a shot or two. I thought Emily Lytle gave us some good minutes at that 4 spot. And so we got some kids who can step up and play off of that. But we can play a lot of different ways. If you want to walk it up, if we need to walk it up, we will. If we will need to run fast, we will. So we can play a lot of different ways.
Despite it being 4 games in 8 days, you won all 4.
Yeah.
And 2 of those were against ranked teams. How encouraged are you about the way the team was playing heading into the final 4 games of the regular season?
I'm very encouraged. I've been saying it all along that we're as good as anyone when we play well, play the right way. And I know it's game 20-something, 24, 25, and we're starting to figure it out. And I think this week we've figured it out. And when I say that, when you have, we have 4 kids on our team that have scored 1,000 points. Okay, Georgia's going to score 1,000 points at some point. Kayla King will score her 1,000 point at some point. And they're learning when to be aggressive. Kayana Traylor, she brings an element to us that she can get downhill and score. So they're really trying to feed off each other. Georgia Amore had a horrible start because she was trying to facilitate so much. Her numbers are way down. And now she's gotten back to, okay, this is what I need to do. I'm comfortable with that. And they're playing off of her in that aspect. And so we're starting to figure it out. And this week was really big for us. We had some games that we looked really good, but then we kind of go backwards. This week we put together 4 really good games. And even before that, who did we play before Notre Dame? UVA. Yeah, UVA. We had a good outing against them. So we're starting to figure it out, and when we can play like this, it's really hard to try to take away one area. It's hard to take away Liz because you don't know who else is going to step up. It could be Asia Shepherd, it could be Georgia Amore, it could be Kayla King, it could be Kayana Traylor, so forth. So I think that's what makes us dangerous, and the fact that they're understanding that and knowing how to play.
What does it mean to you to see Shepherd break the record?
Everything. We had an embrace after I spoke to them. And she just looked at me, and I looked at her, and she said, Coach, this is fun. And what she meant by that is that when I recruited her, I said, look, you're going to be the first, and we're going to change the culture here. And there's going to be many more like you and here, and it's going to be fun. And that's when she said, this is fun. And for me to be able to, see her ups and her downs and everything that she's gone through to get to this point, because she's gone through the lows and the highs. And there were a lot of lows in the beginning as we were trying to navigate through this, but she's been everything. She's an ambassador for our program. She's an ambassador for Virginia Tech. She's an ambassador for this community. And the way that she loves all three, that's what you want in a kid. So to see her break the record, and it really has to sink in, because she's not just the leader at Virginia Tech. She's a leader in the ACC. And that's monumental. And I think here very shortly she's going to have a chance to become the all-time leading scorer and hold it for probably about a year or two, and then Liz is probably going to break it. So when you have that on one team, it's a special group. And then you arguably, and I don't know the history of Virginia Tech way back, but I can't imagine too many point guards that are better than Georgia. So that's what makes it a special group. And I think a lot of things are on the horizon for us that we've been chasing for a while.
Ryan, then Anthony.
Coach, I know it's been such a kind of well season, but if you don't mind just talking a little bit about the heart that this team has, and they leave it out there on the court.
They do. You know what? And it's like, and the crowd was really good tonight, and that's what we just keep screaming to, Hokie Nation. They're a special group, not just a special team. They're a special group. Anything you're supposed to be doing off the court, they do it to the utmost. They have a 3.6 GPA. I got a couple of future doctors in there. I got one that's going to be a biomedical engineer, and I don't even know what the heck that is. And just listening to them, so they're not just like just ball. They're so well rounded. They're articulate. They're smart. They're fun. They're funny. They're happy kids, and they represent. They're fun to be around. They're fun to be around, and they love each other. So they'll go out there and they will fight for each other, and they will battle for each other. They celebrate each other's successes. They don't care who gets it as long as we get it. And Kayla hits a shot. Like when we watch film and we watch our celebrations, because they get tickled because they know that their teammates are celebrating for them, and it's just remarkable. It's remarkable but that's what we set out. We wanted to. That's what we have to recruit here at Virginia Tech. Kids like that, kids who want to be here. We don't get the McDonald's All-American, all right, but we consider the ones that we have. I guess we call them the Five Guys All-American, all right, because they're a step above because. You Five Guys, you got to make it. They make your hamburger in front of you. I don't know. Five Guys, they make it right in front of you. Okay, so we got to make our kids. They get here. Liz Kitley was not Liz Kitley until she got here. Georgia Amore was not Georgia Amore until she got here. Asia Shepherd was not Asia Shepherd until she got here. So we don't have the luxury of going out and get those McDonald's All-Americans. So we got to make it in front of you. Okay, we got to make it in front of you, and you got to get special kids who want that, and that's why it's not for everyone. It's not for everyone, but those special ones will be able to elevate you. And when I look at my team at jump ball and like we played against them, and on their team, I think they might have 5 or 6 McDonald's All-Americans on their team. Okay, we played against Notre Dame last week. They had 6, and the only one that wasn't was the one that came here and then went there. And so, that's the kind of kid that we have to get, and they will display that kind of heart. Once you get them in, they understand what their roles are. They understand what Virginia Tech is all about, and that's what we have right now. We're able to enjoy it.
Well, just speaking to that kind of evolution of the program, I mean, Asia said it makes her emotional to think of, what the atmosphere was like when she first started versus where it was like today, and then especially after last year with having no fans. How meaningful is it just to the future of the program that Hokie Nation and the community has kind of embraced this year?
It means everything. We've got some prominent recruits here today, and they're able to see that. And we just beat Carolina, UNC, and Carolina is a brand. Mr. Jordan has made that a brand. That light blue is a brand, and a lot of kids grow up, wanting to go there. And a lot of kids. There were a couple kids on that team that we recruited hard that we felt like that could have been that type player, but they're sitting. And because everybody can't go to the same school and play. Liz Kitley chose very wisely. Asia Shepherd chose very wisely. Georgia Amore chose very wisely. and they're able to be developed and get that opportunity because, I believe in Asia Shepherd to let her play through that. And I don't have like 10 McDonald's All-Americans that, okay, one comes in, okay, you're not doing anything, okay, you get in. We believe and we trust in our kids. So, the atmosphere, honestly, too, and maybe I'm looking at it differently, but, like, it feels different. And maybe it's because we didn't have anybody here last year, but, like the way people look at us now and the way that they cheer for us, it's almost like they expect us to win, too. And it's not that they're hoping we're going to win. They expect us to win. And we had to go through that, and social media is crazy because when I first came here, I didn't know. When I first came here, I thought I was replacing Gino at UConn because everybody was like, okay, here, you come here, you better win, right away. You have to build it. You have to build it. You got to build a culture. You got to build an attitude. You got to bring players in, and we built it. Okay, we would have been in a tournament, 2 years ago if they had a tournament. So that's when it really started. I think that was year 4. I think it was 3 or 4. You have to build it. And for a place like Virginia Tech to get the kids that you're going to be successful, it takes a little bit of time to develop them. And that's what we've done. We've developed them. I used my analogy the other day of like, our homegrown kids are our base, all right? But they need time. Asia Shepherd needed time to get to this point. Liz Kitley needed time to, get to this point. Georgia Amore, needed a little bit of time. And that's what's going on with us right now. But we're able to start reaping some of those benefits because now they are ready. And now the way Hokie Nation cheers for us, or the crowd, they cheer for us, is a little bit different, and it feels a little bit different.
Do you have prominent recruits here, or McDonald's All-America recruits here?
Well,
Or were they 5 guys?
5 guys.
we're 5 guys, all right. We're 5 guys. But they're 5 guys.
What was different about this matchup with Carolina? I mean, last time you go down there, you get blown out early, and it just sputters. This time, you came back down 21-9.
Again, Courtney does a phenomenal job, and she's Courtney and I. We're close. We talk. We text. I watch her team. She watches my teams. A lot of similarities in what we do. A lot of similarities in our coaching paths. We both cut our teeth at the mid-major level, built programs that really dominated their league for a while, got an opportunity to step up, and we both cutting our teeth in the ACC. I think I'm a couple years ahead of her, and so I don't want to take anything away from them. When they played us there are sometimes you just don't know what happens. You don't. And it was a game. I watched it twice yesterday and once at 2:30 last night. And they just kicked our butt. They took away everything. They actually put in the scheme where they had one in front, one behind, and one beside, and I'd never seen that before. We couldn't get the ball to Liz. We sputtered. And then we couldn't make shots, and they did make shots. And one of the things we wanted to do tonight was to stop their transition. They had 28 transition points against us there. Okay, and it looked like a track meet. Utsby, that kid should run track because, she gets up and down the floor and she glides, and it is like, what is going on? And she was the premise of us because she was running and we were scrambling because she was out front and our guards had to take her and our fours were trailing behind it, and then they were kicking it out, and Deja Kelly and Hodgson, they just going crazy from 3-point line. And then their defense, they just stifled us. And I looked at my kids from our point of view. We had all 8 kids who played bad. Asia Shepherd had 2 points. Georgia Amore was throwing the ball all over the place, couldn't get the ball to Liz. Kayla King couldn't get a shot. They all just played really bad. So we got beat by 25. And when we walked out of there, it wasn't like worry because we thought they were 25 points better than us. We knew we played bad. And the beauty of being in the same pod with them is that we knew we were going to play them again. And not that it was revenge or anything like that, but it was just another opportunity. And so when we came out today, we were a little bit flat, but it was never that, oh, here we go again. It was like, okay, we gotta get this thing going. And as a result, we came back. We took the lead before halftime, and that's just the maturity of our team.
And then you're 11-1 at home. Council Guard from beginning of the season, where it was like, maybe 2-3 rows of people, was 8, 9, 10 rows deep. The other night, it was filled. What's so different about playing at home for something?
You know what? Yeah, I mean, Castle, the feel, the energy. I've said it before. This place just feels different. All right, I know they're talking about a capital campaign and they're going to renovate. I don't want them to take away the atmosphere. Because you not only do you hear people, you feel them. They're right on top of you. You go to these new arenas, pretty arenas. You don't even know people are in the stands sometimes. They're so far away from you. But like here, people like sometimes I have to not really express myself like I want to my team because I feel like the row of people starts right here. They can hear everything, but you can just feel it. And when you get it going, we got the best announcer in the world. What's his name? Tyler Painter. His voice. I just want him to say one time, Kenny Brooks 4-3. I'm gonna get him to do that one time, all right?
Has anyone ever said that?
Yeah, oh yeah. I got film because I hit a couple threes in here one time. So yeah, let's do that. All right, let's get him to say that one time. But just everything about it, man. It's just everything about it. It just feels good, and to have the student section behind you, it's wonderful. As we, the boys got one more game tomorrow. Is that their last game of the homestand? Because has it been like 7 games in a row here, or something like that? Wrestling Friday, yeah. So this place has seen a lot of victories too, right? Yeah, a lot of wins. So that goes to show you how special the place is, and make no bones about it. I am proud of our road record too. We've gone on the road and won some really good games.
Couple days to rest now.
Oh my gosh, one, yeah, one, yeah. Super Bowl's probably gonna be watching me. I'm gonna be asleep. I'm probably gonna be asleep. The ads aren't as good. What you said? Adverts. Adverts. That's what Georgia said. Adverts.
Georgia was like, that's what I'm watching.
Yeah. They're not as good as they used to be, but
How nice is it going to be to finally get some legs back on?
it's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be beautiful. Tuesday's gonna be wonderful to be able to practice. So we can go over some stuff and actually, get after it instead of walking through it. But it's gonna be good too. We got locked back in. Syracuse is a very tough place to play. And then it's a swing trip because we're actually going to go straight to Louisville. Yeah, because Louisville always has something going on it's always some special night or senior night, something, and so I'm sure they'll be emotional and pumped up. But but going in there this year, it's the best team we've had, and we give ourselves a chance, to play and win. All right.
You and Courtney aren't that similar. Her last job was an Ivy League job.
It was, but it's
Your
still.
last job was not an Ivy League school.
James Madison is the Ivy League of Harrisonburg. All right. How dare you?
I'll call Eastern Mennonite and see if you believe
How
that.
dare you try to minimize my my university?
Anthony asked, Bengals or Rams?
Bengals or Rams, what'd you pick? He's gonna pick the halftime.
I want the Bengals. I want the Bengals.
Joe Burrow?
I like Joe Burrow, and I'm not an OBJ fan. I'm not.
Yeah, I used to be. I'm a Giants guy. Now I'm like,
Man, Yankees, Giants, what else, man? Well, Cowboys should be your roots because they're America's team.
10 years ago, we were holding up that trophy.